So in today's video, we are finally going to do our manga set tier list. We tried out all the brand new leaders, so it's time to revamp this list with the current environment. We have 5 new leaders to rank as well, which is the Cell, Boo, and Bulma from the manga set, as well as the starter deck leaders as Charlotte and Giblet. But before we jump into those leaders, we do need to change up the current list for all the buffs that certain decks have gotten, what the environment is looking like as well. We'll jump into yellow first because it's the easiest. They got the most major buff. And I think Boo here has just jumped to S. I don't think it's Z tier, but it is a very strong deck. It just lacks like a lot of draw consistency after a little bit. If it can't, because it's always trying to protect its battle cards or its boos. Unless you're versing a deck that has got a lot of 3-drops and you can play the Barrier Barbity that draws you one, it's hard to get back your card. I'm going to sit yellow Vegeta down a tier. The only problem that I see is into mirror matches. That 4-cost Boo being able to tap your defensive energy means that you are pretty fragile on the defense side, which kind of sucks. But against any other color, it's still a very, very good deck, I think. I think Janemba here could probably stay S. I haven't seen too much experimentation with him, but he essentially will function the same as any other of the yellow leaders that we do have, but he will just have an extra 2 energy to be able to use, and that can go a long way, I think. Goma here is pretty eh. Its biggest swinger is a 30k, and you do have to consider the 4-cost Boo blocker situation, and so it is a very tough situation for him. I'll probably just chuck him in B. We'll see how the tier list is looking like. Ginyu might have a chance. I'll put Ginyu in B. I don't think Cooler is dead per se, but I want to keep him in D tier because there's realistically no reason to be putting him any higher, and then Frieza like bottom of C because, you know, it's just Frieza's like whatever. What about the OG Boo? I think he's still Z tier. I know he got limited to 1 Barbity, but it's still functionally really strong. All right, so that's where my yellows are going at for the moment. Blues now, because they also got a massive hit with no Pilaf. So a lot of the low tier blue decks just go down tier. I think Vegeta is realistically, it's not worth it, I don't think. I'm going to put him in the D tier. Trunks is usable. You just run the same city package. It's pretty cringe, but I'll just... If you put him in the same city package, he's got something. He's got something. He's not dead. I'll leave him in the same tier. Goku Black is still solid enough, but I don't think it's doing anything too fancy. I'll put him at C. Merge Zamasu is pretty dead in the water as well. It relies so much on extras and having energy active that the 4-cost Boo, just resting all of it, is pretty much all your defense is gone. So I'm just going to be putting him in C. I feel like is not functional in this current environment. You just cannot protect long enough. Vegito without Pilaf is pretty dead as well. People are trying to test out like a full aggro without Pilaf, but because of the 4-cost Vegito, it can really screw up a lot of what the current decks are playing out. A lot of 3-drops, a lot of lower 2-drops. So it is actually worthy to run Vegito. I will put him at bottom of A. Just because of the potential of the 4-cost Vegito, it does need a lot more testing into with this current meta. It's still really early, and I think there is a potential that it can do very, very well still. And then we have Kid Goku, which has some amazing buffs. I think he's not the best deck, but he's a deck that you kind of need to play test into. He's a very popular deck, and he's got some very good tools, so I'll be putting him in S. He's definitely not Z tier, though. Now for our Z boys, Diamond Vegeta, what's happened to him without Pilaf? His late game's a lot harder, but he still is fairly good. You just substitute Gallic Guns early on instead of Pilafs. Yes, the Gallic Guns are pretty much dead later on, but all you needed to do was to protect long enough, and it can actually work out. It's got some easy board clear as well, which is pretty good. So I'll keep him at low S for now, just see where it's going. It could be bumped down to bottom of A if necessary. And then Angel Goku here, he really got like nerfed hard. He really got nerfed hard. It's hard to protect your 1-drops because there's so many things that can kill 1-drops now. Your Videls get KO'd easily if you're not bouncing it back. And I just don't think he has enough defense to survive. And you're running so many extras, it's really tough. And the only way to recycle your extras is by Videl now, which is pretty expensive. I'm going to be putting him low A. Unless I'm proven wrong, I think it's not going to do so well here. And so that is the current blues. Now we'll go into reds here. Red got some major buffs. I don't think Jiren's the best red deck. He's still a gatekeeper of some sort, but he's not. He's definitely workaroundable now. A lot more. So I'll be putting him in A. He's still Jiren at the end of the day. Diamond Goku Rush. There's so many better Rush decks. I'm just going to chuck him in B. Then Diamond Goku, I'll probably put in B as well. And then I'm going to keep Beerus in A. I think he still can be very, very good. There's a lot of 25k bodies as well that the 5-cost Beerus can destroy in this current high usage play. And the neg 10 is also very, very helpful. And critical is always very, very annoying. So I don't think he's dead compared to these two. UI Goku just is in C. And the rest of the red boys can still stay. They just don't change. They're not really that good. They're not really that great either. Android 18, on the other hand, has gotten a massive buff. Both directly with the Cell cards. Because now she has like a little functional recovery system. And then you also have the field, which gets by a lot of the barrier cards that are being played by yellow. And so that is just the perfect card to be playing. And then to be swinging into those little bodies that are very annoying. So it's actually very, very strong. Top Crew can stay down at D, sadly. And now we got black here. For black, I think Baby's still the best black deck from the OG leaders. I think I'm going to be a bit harsh and I'm just going to chuck Gogeta in with the other black leaders. And then we're just going to leave it like that, I think. Demon King Piccolo is just going to stay there as well. God damn, he sucks. And then finally, green Cell is pretty useless too. I'll be chucking him in C. Piccolo, however, is a very good high roll deck. I don't think he's making a splash, but a 6 cost that rams you up to 8 is pretty strong. I'll put him in the B just for the massive high roll. He can actually just like sweep. The game goes pretty fast that sometimes it's too late. And it's like a 4-card combo to activate everything, which is insane. And when I played it, it feels kind of cloggy at the start. Green Vegeta is an insane green deck. I think it's one of the best green decks out at the moment. To be able to pop out 3 bodies on turn 3 is actually just nuts. The only thing is like low combo power, but you trade that off with like 6 bodies on the turn 4 and a double strike of 40k. It's kind of crazy. It has one flaw, which is like board clear. Anything higher than 6 costs just stays on board pretty much, or you're just swinging into the board. But it goes fast enough. We just keep swinging at face, and it actually kind of works out. And a lot of the bodies are like 25k and lower, so the blocker 4-cost Boo doesn't really work. However, Barrier Boo can be very annoying for him, but I don't think it's the end of the world. Broly is still Broly. I think he is the main gatekeeper. Like, if you don't have a answer to his evolution line, then you kind of just lose at the end of the day if you do match up with him. But Yellow just naturally beats him anyway. With how it's working right now, so it is like it's kind of GG's for him, but you still gotta actually like think of like an answer for him. Jiren's the same thing, but like it's already naturally built into the decks now. I forgot about Yellow Diamond Vegeta. He's like B. He's a little rushdown tech. He's pretty funny, but nothing too spectacular. Namek Goku is dead as well. he can go bottom of A. If you're not versing Yellow, then cool. But yeah, like Baribu blocks the double strike. If you have to win by double strike, you are essentially just in a losing game at this point. And then his bodies don't really stick that long as well. Androids, I think, is still a pretty solid pick. It can still do well. You gotta sequence it right to avoid any sort of shenanigan that Boo players do. So I think it goes here pretty fine. And then the rest of the green leaders, like Gohan, Broly, seems to be untouched at this current moment. I can even put Broly in C. He's a funny card. He's a funny green leader, sure. All right, and so those are my current standings of the old leaders at this current moment. Now let's get into the new leaders, starting off with the starter deck since they came out first, Shallot and Giblet. We'll go with Giblet, green. He is an S tier character. He's kind of functionally kind of like Vegeta. He spams a lot of bodies just based on the energy recursion that he does have, but he can also use that energy to clear board as well. So it's a very strong deck. It has some versatility. I don't know which one is better, because one craps out more bodies faster, but this one has more control based into its deck. So I think they're really close though. It just, the play style, I guess, comes down to it at the end of the day, but it is a very strong deck. Then we have Shallot here. I think Shallot is probably one of the best black decks at the moment. I could argue in S. 6 costs is a nice cost card for getting around the 4 costs. It's just really hard when Boo has a lot of rest cards to starve you. But outside of that, like other colors, you're typically awakening on time anyway. So I think the hardest matchup is yellow, and that's why it's not doing so well, but it can do so well. I might just chuck it into the A tier. All right, and now for the brand new leaders. Bulma here is just like high roll shenanigans. We'll go with A. It can poop out a lot of bodies, but if that Yamcha dies, then it's a scary moment. If you kill the Roshi, they don't have too many cards. You just really focus on battle cards to win the game, essentially, because they just don't. She just doesn't draw you cards, which sucks. A lot of black leaders are just sitting around here. It's sad. I think Baby is still like the best. Cell is, I think, just on the edge of Z or just top S. It is very strong. It holds so many combo. It keeps its resources going and still tax pretty high. It is very, very strong. 40k swing. Board clears as well very easily. Like, how can you block with the super combo for that long, you know? And so yeah, it is ridiculous. It is very ridiculous. And then Boo is, of course, everybody knows, is in Z tier. Being able to control the board, being able to still do Boo stuff. The 5 cost into 4 cost. You can also do barrier, blocker. Like, it has so much. It can stall an awakening. Like, it does so much. It is ridiculous. It is stupid. It has so many tools. All the low costs are gone. You can lock all the high costs. Like, there's just endless ways of being able to stay alive so easily. It is ridiculous. And I think I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. Obviously, not really particularly ordered in the tiers, but that's where we're at right now. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. But that is going to be it. But I'll see you guys in the next video as always. Until then, peace.